Hello everyone, I'm Bill. Welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a campaign update for the Sunday game I'm running. Let me grab my notes. So the party was dicking around with a dungeon that's only fully there during a full moon on the shore. A player that didn't make it last game made it now. And they gather together and try to figure out what they want to do. As they gather together, trying to contemplate what's going on, an explosion happens at the mine. A lot of the wooden fencing they had put up, or gate that they had built, got destroyed in the explosion. As they rush up there, they're seeing fighting going on. And they see that the old town's people that were on another plane have finally made it back. And the mages are making quick work of the marauders that attacked the townspeople as they came from the temple that's further up the road. That's where the gate opened, so they came from there, and they were coming down to meet with the rest of the party. And the party didn't know what day they were going to be here, so this happened. But the guild, the Wizards Guild that's leading these townspeople, managed to kill 9 of the marauders by the time the party joins up. They learn that with the true seeing item, that if you concentrate, you can see into the ethereal plane. That was something, as a game master, I wasn't ever sure of, so makes sense with how expensive those items are. So in staring into the ethereal plane, they come face to face with a ethereal dragon. It's laying up top of the cave's entrance with its tail sprung on the ground. The goblin messes with the tail and gets essentially kicked a few feet away. I think it was like 25 feet away. I don't remember how much damage he took, but it wasn't like a ton of damage. But he was messing with that dragon. And the party ends up talking with the dragon and negotiating with that dragon. And they make some peaceful negotiations, as well as some offerings to the dragon. And they were very surprised when gold did not appeal to this dragon. Instead, this dragon wants them to make statues of its beauty and donate it to him. I think he said like once a month. And so that is being done. His name is Tonnetrui, I think is how it's pronounced. It's supposed to be Latin, and it means thunder mist. Well, they ask him questions about the white dragon as well. And he says he never messes with the white dragon. And the white dragon has a hard time messing with him, since he can go to the ethereal plane whenever he wants. So the party then decides to explore the ruin that's up top inside the actual crater of the volcano as their next course of action. They go up there. There are 4 castles, and in the center of the volcano, suspended by 7 of 8 chains, a big tower, and there seems to be a bridge attached to some chains that can be maneuvered into place. When one of the gargoyles tried to fly closer to the tower, he got shot at by beams of light and managed not to get hit by any of them. But after exploring those 4 keeps that are around and learning about the kings that have built the keeps, which was very little information, they decide not to mess with the tower. They're under the impression that whatever's there is probably not worth messing with. But that could change. Like, the party's the party. They make the decisions, and a lot of times those aren't good ones. And it's always entertaining. So After messing around in the volcano, they retreat back. A day or so goes by, and then they go to talk to the white dragon. And it reveals the history of the ruins on top of the volcano. It was dwarven made back when dwarves and elves occupied the island. The chains were enchanted by the elves. They ask the dragon if the dragon knows what's there, and it gives them a rough idea of what could be there, because it saw some extraplanar creatures being marched across the bridge and stored in there. But the dwarves and the elves, before the hobbits were on this island, were killed off by a 20-ship raiding party of minotaurs. After that, the hobbits ended up coming and taking over the ruins that were left, and then started mining the mines and such. But because of the isolation and the hobbits didn't bring enough new blood, they became inbred after a few generations. The party also gets a rough location of where the elven ruins used to be on this island, because obviously they lived here. And the dragon tells them the rough location. He said that it's been 100 years or so since he's actually seen any of the ruins. And that was to help me illustrate to the party that the overgrowth has really overtaken them. The party scries the ruins, and they see it, and they see a manticore eating in the town square. They also see a big stone ring covered in ivy. So much covered in ivy they almost missed what it was. The party decides that exploring and taking control of the elven town, as well as that ring, is very important. So they get into motion to do that. When they get to the town, they can't find the manticore right away. And then after exploring some of the buildings, they see a big manticore sleeping, 2 manticores wrestling inside the building. All this is inside a big building. And then another manticore just off in a corner. They, for lack of paying attention to my descriptions, didn't take into account that I said there was 4 of them. And they began their attack by dropping the wall on the sleeping one and netting the 2 that were wrestling. So the last one got to do some attacks. The one that was netted got to attempt to do something, and the one had a wall on it, so it couldn't do much. After, I believe, 2 rounds of combat, it wasn't a lot. Surprise round and a round of them handling what was going on. The stone gate opens, destroying the vines that were in front of it. Outrides a skeletal knight. He is one of many exiting the gate. At the same time, the wizards who were talking when the party was going to explore this place about coming here were making plans for this day to be their day, and they arrive shortly right after the gate opens. So there is pretty much the Wayfarer's Guide, which is Franklin, the Gatecrasher, the Planar Champion, and 1 or 2 other mages arrive. And they weren't expecting to arrive into combat, so the first thing the Gatecrasher's doing is moving to close the gate. But we shall see if he can get there, because that is where the game ended. The party had a lot of fun, a lot of misadventures, a lot of bad rolls that were comical, and a lot of good rolls. Their strategy was really good, as it usually is with this group. So we will continue this adventure either this Sunday or following. I believe it is this Sunday we're continuing. When we don't continue this adventure, I'll be a player again in either Dark Sun or some other game. So it'll be some fun until we meet again.